Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, I was chuckling through that intro because I've already seen the title of the first story and I'm anxious to get into it because the title says, "Hairstylist has been taking and keeping my hair." I'm weirded out. I'm also going to be vague because obvious reasons. I'm 30s female and my stylist is 40s. I got my hair cut today at a stylist I've been using for about 9 months now. I think this is my 6th appointment with them. I usually do a trim or cut/style. Today I went from long hair, high lower back to an A-line bob. Again, since I started seeing this person, I usually get the current style maintenance/trim. This time was a dramatic length adjustment, so they took a picture of the cut length in the floor to add to their social media, then intending to add a before/after ours too. That's all totally fine and normal. They go grab a broom, sweep up the hair, and place the dustpan on the counter for a bit. Again, normal. They grab the broom and pan and head to the back of the shop. They're gone a few minutes, no biggie, then they go out to smoke. But here's where it gets weird. The bathroom is in the back of the shop too. I need to go and step into the back. I don't really notice anything on the way into the bathroom. I go and start to head back out, but I notice my name on a small clear tote on the table. It has no lid, and it has my hair in it. At first, I didn't really think much of it. But I look closer and see it's not just today's discarded hair, but it looks like at least a few of my trim sessions, mixed with, it looked like potpourri, and a little sand or something, and printed pictures of the cut hair with dates. The printer is sitting right next to it with today's discarded hair pick in the tray. There didn't seem to be any other containers like this when I looked around. It was fucking weird, so I took a pic on my phone. I honestly didn't know what to think or do and went back out into the salon. They came back in and I mentioned that I went to the restroom, and they seemed to freak out a little but didn't mention it. I didn't really know what to say, so I just let them finish styling my hair, paid and left. As a socially anxious introvert, this was my nightmare. I got home and the more I looked at this picture, the more ick I got. I ended up texting them an hour ago, sending the picture and requesting they remove the weird box of me and asking for an explanation. I said, "Hey, so I saw this and didn't know what to make of it. Can you help me understand what this is and why you have it? I'm not comfortable with you having this and request you please discard the contents. Also, even though I loved my cut, I believe it's best if I find a different stylist." They haven't responded. Lol. What the fuck? My mind is immediately going to some kind of ritual or something like that. I don't know what it could be in all honesty, but the fact that they freaked out when you mentioned using the bathroom, that, you know, it suggests that they know this isn't normal or okay, which we know already, of course. And the fact that no one else's hair seems to be being kept at all, just you, it comes across as obsessive behavior, but I would certainly still want to know what the bloody hell is going on. A commenter says to OP, "You absolutely handled it better than I would have. I would have taken it and confronted them. This is really the beginning of some crazy I survived episode. Thank God you're not going back." OP says, "I honestly had no clue how to respond. The whole situation was so bizarre and I can't imagine what the purpose of this would be. I told my husband about it and he got goosebumps, which was super scary for me and made me feel like I may have underreacted to the issue. But I guess I'm glad I got out without a confrontation while there, because who knows what may have happened if I'd brought it up then." And there wasn't too many other comments after that, other people just like wanting to know what's happened because what the fuck, really. But OP comes in with her update and says, "It's been about a week, and with the holiday, I'm all over the place, but I ended up going to law enforcement to make a report last Monday. I'll likely end up going back if this person keeps contacting me like they have been. I give a little timeline. Last Saturday, haircut and discovered the weird tub full of my hair. Text stylist about the weird tub and said I'll be finding a new stylist. Hairstylist didn't respond. This is where I left off in my last post. A lot has happened since then. Sunday, I woke up to a bunch of texts from the stylist. It woke me up because even though I have Do Not Disturb on my phone, I have a setting that overrides that if there are repeated contact attempts over 3, in case of emergencies. Here's what I got, copied and pasted. 3:49 AM. I don't recommend going to a different stylist because of this. It's not a big deal. Small towns and people talk, and you may not find anyone that will take you after this, so I'd reconsider. I don't like threats. 3:51 AM. So I have your biological material, and it's my property now. I can do what I want with it. I kept it because I can, and it means a lot to me. 3:54 AM. Why you send the pic? I know what it looks like. It's mine. 4 AM. You need to respond to me because I think it's a misunderstanding about what this is. It's no big deal, and you saying you're switching stylists has me triggered. I do good work. You said so. 4:04 AM. I also charge a $350 client separation fee, so yeah, you can't just say you're switching stylists with more consequences. And I know you said you already tried a few people before me. They not many beauty people in the area. I'm assuming there's not many beauty people in the area. 4:11 AM, asking for an explanation for a stylist having a hair salon is crazy. Where else would you find hair at? I didn't do nothing wrong, but I will get rid of it if you're going to cry about it. But only if you say you won't be switching to anyone else for your hair care. You mean a lot as a client and always tip well, and I do good work. So it doesn't make sense, and you know that, so maybe don't threaten someone who does your hair or hurt their heart emoji by making accusatory statements. OP continues. I didn't respond to any of those that morning because it was so insane to me. I need to process things fully before I make a decision on how to deal with it. So I just didn't respond. Sunday afternoon, I started getting phone calls. This person called me 14 times that afternoon. About every other call, they left a voicemail. Most of the voicemails just said, call me back or text me back, but 2 of them were unhinged. I'm going to paraphrase, but the gist of the first one was, and it sounded like they were crying. Call me back. I'm getting scared you won't come back to me for your hair for real. I just like how your hair feels. That's why I kept it. Call me. The second unhinged message was left late Sunday night at 11:38 PM, and it said, I got rid of it except for one lock. I found out I like watching your hair burn more than I like keeping it. Oh, dearie me. I didn't respond to any of those messages, calls, or texts. The whole thing had me freaked out now. I decided by that time I was taking Monday off work to go to the police. Even if they couldn't do anything, I wanted to file a report of the weirdness. I woke up Monday to an email from the stylist with an invoice of $375 for client breach of contract fee as the chargeable line item. Again, copy and pasting here. The email body was just for being a bitch. It was sent from their business email too, so they're really doing everything they can to ruin themselves. Even if I had a contract with this nutter, which I don't, the original amount was for $350. They can't even get their extortion fees right. I did email them back stating we had no contract and to cease all further communication with me from this point forward. I got ready and started heading to the police station around 9:45 Monday morning. I live in a rural area, so there are portions of my drive to and from our main house that doesn't have a cell reception. When I finally got to town, I had 4 voicemails. I knew immediately who they were from. I talked to one of the officers on staff. They took my statement, a copy of the email, and asked me to forward all texts and screenshots of the numbers of calls. They said at least the calls and texts could be considered menacing and harassment, but the voicemail where they mentioned how they like burning my hair was potentially concerning. The officer advised I contact a legal representative in case this person tries to take the bogus invoice to a civil suit court, and they said I'm welcome to change my number. Having the piling evidence if they continue to contact me after I explicitly told them not to in the email would only help me. I reached out to a lawyer Tuesday and left a detailed message regarding the situation. They are apparently out of the office until next Wednesday for the holiday, so we'll see if they have any advice. I've since received many texts and calls from the stylist. They sent a Happy Thanksgiving text on Thursday morning as well. Regardless, they're giving me a lot of evidentiary material to work with. But I'm so unsettled. I can't wait to hear from the lawyer this week. Mini update. I woke up to new comments and requests for updates. Firstly, I am okay and safe for now. The person has continued to contact me on a regular basis via phone and email. I do have personal protection that I'm comfortable with and can wield with accuracy, but I'm nearly certain this person does not know where I live, so I don't anticipate any type of confrontation here. Our house and property has complete camera coverage as well. If anyone or anything shows up, we're well aware. I'll be posting a more in-depth update with more texts and emails up to this point, and regarding a specific incident that happened on Friday. On Tuesday, I have an appointment to speak with another officer, then to discuss the potential of criminal action and legal consequences for the stylist as a result. Thank you all for the concern and the validation that this is absolutely insane. I'll leave you with a text from this past week, one I think you'll all enjoy. Question, used for a model of how not to make friends. Once again, copied and pasted. 5:12 a.m., 12 for the 4th, 24. Don't never say never. You're never coming back. Don't make me laugh. I don't want your ass back. You can beg me though. Might help. Holy shit, that sent the shiver down my spine. I don't get it though, like when you're talking to the police and you're telling, you've had all these calls, all these messages, and this person telling you that they like watching your hair burn more than they like keeping it. And they're just stood there, rubbing their chin. That might be potentially concerning. I'd be like, what the fuck? Let's check see if this person's already on a list. But Opie comes in with another update and says, I didn't expect the crazy amount of people following this. Here is the long-awaited post. Also, long post. Sorry for the delay. I think I mentioned before. I'm a processor, so it takes me a while to work through my thoughts and feelings on things. This situation and update may not be as satisfying as many would have hoped, but here it goes. I met with law enforcement again this past Tuesday. My husband and I drove over early that morning because I was also meeting up with a lawyer I'm working with. Aside from the near constant texts, calls, and emails, I wanted to pursue legal action for a specific issue. Allegedly, the stylist had tried to have my credit card cancelled. Apparently, they used the last 4 digits on my card, called the customer service line for the card, and tried to cancel it. I got a call from the fraud department shortly after this person attempted to do this, trying to verify everything, to see if I actually wanted to close my account and dissolve my credit line with them. To be clear, the stylist was not successful in their alleged attempt. They couldn't provide the basic information you need for such things, like my actual last name. It's unusual, and they gave a name that was almost similar. Date of birth, address, etc. Apparently they thought they could accomplish this with just my name, phone number, and the last 4 digits of the card number. I didn't cancel the card, but did request a new one, for obvious reasons. I had no clue why they would want to cancel my card. To inconvenience me? Yep, that's exactly why, allegedly. When I spoke to the credit card company, they agreed to send over the recording of the person that called, as well as the phone number the call originated from, as long as the request come from law enforcement with a warrant. They gave me a phone number and reference number for the police to reach out to directly. The officer began working on that immediately, so that is in progress. I went to my phone company over the weekend, had my phone number transferred to an old phone so I could still receive calls and texts there, but got a new phone number for my actual phone. The old phone and phone number has been turned over to the officer assigned to my case. They did go and speak with this person yesterday. Apparently they are horrified I went to the police and had no idea any of their crazy could be chargeable offences. According to the officer, there have been no further communications via text or call since their visit, and I haven't received any other emails. A temporary protection and no contact order has been issued against them until the first court date. I have also reached out to the State Board of Licensing with all this information and my complaints. All they can say is that they are investigating. Outside of that information, I'm limited on any other information I can share, since a legal process against this person has officially begun. We're just waiting to see how this all plays out now. It's been a long few weeks. I'm hoping for the best here. I'm already so relieved to no longer be getting calls, texts, or emails constantly. Thank you for all the concern, advice, and good wishes. This was meant to be an outlet for me to vent and process, and I'm so grateful that you've allowed me to do that, with this huge amount of support you have given. And the top commenter on that update said, I'm glad that you're safe and they stopped contacting you once they realized police enforcement was involved. Shameful they didn't stop until law enforcement was involved. At least you can sleep easily knowing that they cannot contact you and do not know where you live. Absolute insanity. They attempted to cancel your credit card though. Hope you get the best possible outcome for this situation. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Opie says, I really appreciate it. It's been a roller coaster for my household for sure. Commenter 2 says, I'm glad you're getting it sorted and have taken this serious. Hopefully the police have scared them enough to permanently leave you alone. You never know what crazy people will do. Opie says the officer implied that this person was legitimately Pikachu-faced when they showed up, and the lack of further contact indicates they didn't have a clue that they were breaking the law. Third commenter says, people amaze me with how much crazy they think they can get away with. I'm so glad you're doing everything the right way. Opie says, my lawyer has been critical in making sure I'm protected legally and physically. I'm starting to think this person was one of those who uses escalation to get their way, or intimidating people into doing what they want them to do. This time, it backfired. Holy shitbags, that is terrifying. And obviously I'm not trying to worry anyone, I'm just saying what I was thinking as I was reading this, but the fact that she's gone quiet now, it makes me uneasy. I know the text message was shitty, OP shouldn't have received them, but at least you know what she was thinking. She seemed to put it all out there in text message. This person went to lengths of trying to cancel your credit card, just knows that there's cogs working in the background. She's doing shit in the background. It's scary. However, I am glad people are taking this seriously legally and looking after you physically at the same time as well. The comments about liking your hair, you were sat in this person's chair, they was touching your hair, they had scissors. It all just makes me very thankful for my barber. I go in there, he points to the chair, I sit down, he goes, usual? Yes please pal. Job done. Then I just stare forward into the mirror for the next 20 minutes while he keeps staring back at me, cutting my hair. Gee bloody whiz. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this one? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's have another story. Now a little something Christmassy from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit from Stay Sad, who says, am I the arsehole for not attending Christmas dinner with my family because it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon? For context, I buy the turkey at £130. Dry brine it for 2 days, cook it, take it to my mum's house and then cook all of the trimmings while I'm there. This involves many hours of work from me as you can imagine, and I have to wake up at 7 AM to get all the timings right. The problem with this is that my partner and I barely get any time together on Christmas Day. We'd like to wake up, have a coffee, spend time together, open presents, maybe have a light breakfast, and then get to cooking dinner at midday. We don't usually eat breakfast or lunch as we intermittent fast, and we're never hungry for a giant plate of roasted food at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, effectively ruining Christmas meal for us anyway. When children were involved and everyone had to get home early, I compromised, even though I still didn't really understand the whole eating at midday thing. But this year, now the youngest child is in attendance is 12, I tried to meet them in the middle and say, could we maybe have it at 3? I've been told that I'm selfish and that I don't compromise and that this is ridiculous. Thus, I've decided my partner and I will go round to see family in the afternoon, but not eat dinner with them. We'll have our own meal at home in the evening, saving me money and allowing us to have the Christmas morning we've not had since we first lived together in 2018. Additionally, I'll be able to experiment with flavour for once. Sous vide a turkey crown, use the giblets for the gravy, etc. I also feel... I'll tell you what, I'm laughing in a sec. I also feel it necessary to add that everyone rushes off as soon as I finished eating anyway. There would usually be 8 people in attendance, including us, and except my mum and brother, everyone else leaves. I think it wouldn't be so bad if we spent the day together after the meal. When OP said experiment with flavour for once. All I can think of that story, when anyone says experiment with food now, all I can think of is glitter gravy or whatever it was. Jellified turkey, I think it was something like that. Absolutely not the arsehole. It seems that they just don't know how to compromise. You're buying the turkey, you're cooking all the trimmings while you're there, you're doing the work. Someone was doing that for me, I'd say, mate, you can cook whenever you want, pal. You just pass me a cheeky little glass of sherry and I'll sit here and wait. A general relative says not the arsehole. It doesn't sound like your family knows what the word compromise means. OP responded saying the irony for them when it comes to compromise is that they'd rather not have us there than have it a couple of hours later. We're supposed to compromise, but they are not. And again, it's just like OP's seems to be doing everything. He's doing the cooking, he's paid for like 130 quid for a turkey. And they're all moaning about the time. In some ways, I'd just say like, cook for yourself at home with your partner, enjoy your Christmas. If you want, and if you're comfortable doing so, say that they can come round to you if they want some food, but it'll be done on your time. But what do you guys make of this situation? All the drama comes out around family events, doesn't it? Holy moly. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And have you got your own little bit of family drama going on around Christmas? You know where I am. Anyway, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.